What is the point? Why do we need to get involved in the community? Why do we need to get involved in politics? Is there anything that through political influence can be achieved that we need to know? On that note, I would like to welcome our panel members. The first person is Yusuf Khan from Atepo. Do you want to come over here, please? Just have your seat. Don't be panic. People want to hear from you. What is hindering people to get involved in politics? And you've get involved. How do you get through? And what are the things you think we need to do more? The next person is going to be, they said we need to balance it today. We are learning it. Madam Adefunke Agbekwe. Do you want to come, please? I know from experience, I'm going to call somebody here. It might be a shock to the person, but I believe women are far better and can do better. They can do better in any capacity. CEO of Diversify. If the person is here, I would like the person to stand up so that the person will moderate this session. What is the point? Why do we have to get involved? What even bring that Diversify? Shanine Fasasi.
Thank you. What's the point of diversify? I started my training as a teacher trainee back in Bedfordshire. And then we moved up here 3 years ago. So I transferred to Sunderland University to continue my training as a teacher. And sadly experienced a lot of negativity and discrimination. I've had comments made to me that are quite unsavory, which I won't repeat. And I had a choice. I looked at it in two ways. I can either respond positively or I can respond negatively. And I chose to respond positively. And I identified the areas within education that I felt was lacking in terms of, especially around diversity. So I have a very strong focus on diversity, particularly within education. I feel as, I don't know your name, sorry. Joyce. As Joyce said, it's about educating the people, and I feel the same way, so I strongly agree with you on that. Sometimes when I've gone through situations as a trainee, I've now graduated back in July. When I've gone through situations, sometimes I look back, instead of speaking straight to her, I reflect and I go, well, actually, it's not the person's fault, it's down to the lack of education. Because sometimes if we know more about a situation or a circumstance, we will be able to have a much open-minded ideology rather than a closed-minded ideology. So I don't always react to that person in a negative way or an angry way. I just put it down to lack of education. So that's actually opened up a door for me. Now, my plan was to go to uni, qualify as a teacher, get into the classroom, be the best I can be. I love teaching. I feel that as a teacher, I'm part of the next generation of doctors, nurses, even the future Prime Minister. I feel that whatsoever I give to the children in the classroom as their delivery, it's part of their journey in life. And when I can always look back 20 years down and I say, well, I was part of that journey. So I take it quite seriously, just as you described, that's me. But circumstances where I've been into one school before where I've been asked, so where are you from? And I say, well, I'm from Durham. And they go, no, you're home. I go, oh, right, okay. I've been into another school where the university was contacted and told the staff were uncomfortable being around people of my ethnicity, so my placement had to end. That was really sad. I've been to school where the head teacher said to me, I just want to let you know we've never had anyone of your ethnicity here before, so prepare yourself to being treated differently. And I did not respond because I did not know what to say. But I got on with it, and yeah, I did get treated differently. But what happened? So like I said, my plan was to go into uni, qualify, get out, get in the classroom. But because of what happened, I have not been able to do that. And it's a good thing, and it's also a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Now, I never had plans to go on to do my master's. That was never on my agenda. Never had plans to do the PhD, but now I'm doing a master's. I want to go on, rather than going into the classroom, I want to go on and become an educational consultant so that I can go into schools across the UK, especially in areas where there's much need and input for diversity, and to educate people beyond the media. Because I've had people say to me, well, you came off the back of a boat. All right, okay. That's coming from the media. Yes, there are people that come off the back of a boat, but do you know the reason why and what they're fleeing from? What are the circumstances? So if we are aware, then we'll be able to have that open mind ideology and be able to embrace people rather than put a hand up and say, actually, we don't, whatever unsavory stuff. So yeah, I have gone on now to do my master's with the intention of doing the PhD. I looked at my assignment the other night and thought, actually, could I do this? But I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I really want to carry out and make a change in the classroom. I think that there should be more books around diversity so that children can know more. I go into classrooms and children ask me, Miss, why are you that colour? And I go, well, we're all the same, it's like a car, they all do the same job, but they're all different makes and brands and models. And I've had a little girl say to me, Miss, you know what? I saw you last night. And I go, where did you see me? You were on Children in Need. They were raising money for you. I said, really? That's their interpretation. So that's in itself is a misconception. Now, there are lots of misconceptions in education in every area, in mathematics, in literacy. There's lots of misconceptions. But in areas where there have been misconceptions, the government have put different strategies in place to alleviate those misconceptions. So now we need to put some strategies in place to alleviate misconceptions around diversity. So it's been a little bit of a hard cookie nut to crack, because I've spoken to a few schools. Some feel that there's no importance for it because they haven't got people of BME background within their school. It's diversity is not just about ethnicity. I feel it's also about religion. It's about disability. I'll give you one example. My son was going to a nursery, and you get these forms, you fill in the background, etc. And they had on the lunch menu like mashed potatoes and stuff. So my husband is Nigerian and I'm from the Caribbean, and I am aware that in Nigeria there's certain traditions that are not within Caribbean traditions. Fair enough. So he went to nursery and he was eating the mashed potatoes with his hands, and I got a call from the nursery saying he's got sensory disorder because he's touching the mashed potato with his hands. Now, that's not sensory disorder. That is him embracing culture. Because in Nigerian culture, they eat the pounded yam, the semolina, and everything else with their hands. So that was his interpretation. So that's just a classic example. And that's how Diversify came around. And that's me. Thank you. So,
could you please say what is the point in just 1 or 2 minutes? Why do you think this involvement is necessary?
helps. Yeah, basically, I mean, so basically, I mean, I can speak in public. Basically what I believe is that if you're out of it, you are not there, and your views cannot be heard. And you're talking about situation whereby policies are made, decisions are made, and who are making the decisions and policies? They are people like you and I. They are human beings. And I believe that involvement, engagement, when I was doing my master's, I wanted to write something that can actually add color to my being a qualified accountant. And I chose engagement, where I was working as employee engagement and, involvement. It's so important for us to get engaged. For BME community, you can get busy. You can say you're busy, you're this, you're not interested. But I think importantly, if you want to hear your views, if you want to be involved, if you want to say, because you have potentials, we all have potentials. Our potentials are diversified. For us to be contributory, for us to be involved, for us to add values to our society, I think we need to get involved. And I believe one of the points is leave your comfort zone, come out there, get involved in things, see what you can do to help yourself, help the communities, help somebody beside you. I think that's the point. And I was reading something the other day, and I say, you can influence by participating, and you might be full of potentials. If you don't come out, then the potentials can actually be dead with you, and that's why it's good to come out.
Well done. Seems you want to say a few words? No, I'm not prepared. It doesn't matter.
Yes, what's the point? Where are you? Are you there? Yes, what's the point? I think I've talked about this many times, why I joined politics. Probably, if I go further than 2 minutes, please let me. Originally, I'm from Uganda. And in Uganda, I used to be in one of a youth, can I say youth wing of a party, like we've got momentum here for Labour. So we had a UID, Young Democrats of the Democratic Party in Uganda. And I used to be part of that. When I came here, because I had that in me of being a politician, try to be an activist, I looked for which is the best party to join. And looking around, it's Labour Party that had the same values of my Democratic Party in Uganda. So I joined Labour Party in 2012. In 2014, we had Middlesbrough local elections. Before then, I looked on the website of the sitting Labour councillors, and I think I could only see 2 Asians, and I think the rest were white people. And I said, why don't I see maybe an African origin person on there? So what should I do? So, good enough, they sent the forms for us to fill in, whoever wanted to be a councillor, to express interest. I filled it in, but deep in my head, I was thinking, will I really go through? Will they accept me? Because I don't see anybody like me on the list there. I filled it in, and in fact, I sealed it, and I left the letter in the house for about 2-3 weeks without sending it over. But then accidentally, when I was looking for something, I saw it and said, oh, I didn't send this? Oh, can I send it or not? So I kind of blindly sent it, and I was invited for an interview. and then I was shortlisted. Oh, is it shortlisting? The next step after an interview. Yeah. So I was told, yeah, you can. From what we've heard from you, I think you are capable of being a councillor. So you've joined the pool of being one of those. And I said, really? Can that happen? So basically, that's how it started. But before that, what I was thinking was, what's the point of joining? What was the point then of joining? At the time, I looked at the statistics in Middlesbrough. It looked like we had about 15% of Asian and black people in there, and I thought if the demographic is changing and people are coming in from different parts of the world, they are settling in here. I think they needed to take part in this. They needed to be heard, and for you to be heard, you need to step up. You need to come out and say what you think is right. It's okay for your friends. Some good people can talk about what you want, but I think it's very it's better and very good and interesting if you personally came out and said something. So the community, I thought, was changing. We had many black people in Middlesbrough. We had many Asian in Middlesbrough. We had many Caribbean. I mean, from Europe. So there are very many people that have settled in Middlesbrough. So I thought we needed to change the picture of the councillors in Middlesbrough. So I offered myself because of that in 2014. And I was selected to stand in one of the hardest wards to win, which was Marton East. But the idea was that I could get some experience in doing it, in campaigning. And I was surprised that at the end of the day, at the end of the election day, I came third. I nearly won. And it wasn't in my head that I could even be a third person or a fourth person. I thought I would be the last, because I was thinking, people could see my face. If people see my face like a black person, wants to be like, I think, how would they think? But the good thing with the Labour Party, or what they look at, is your capability and probably can you deliver? And so they didn't think about that, and I nearly won in one of the hardest wards to win in Middlesbrough. That gave me more momentum. Again, I'm still thinking, what's the point of doing it again? Looking again, sharing with some kind of statistics. In Middlesbrough, probably in Stockton, I think we've got about 20% of our school children are from BAME. And it's my feeling that these young children need a role model. They need to see somebody who's there, who's a doctor, who is a councillor, probably who is a mayor. And then it's for them to encourage them to look, to concentrate, to read, to be good citizen. So I feel that I can be a role model for them, and that's the point. That's one of the points why I'm doing this. I want them to see John. Oh, John is a councillor. Really? Can that happen? Can we do it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, somebody's a doctor. Is master's holder. Can we do it? Yes, you can. And I think as time goes on, for them to see that they can be represented somewhere, I think it can help them to maybe to shun away from antisocial behavior. I just feel that it can happen if they feel that they've got a role to play, if they feel they can achieve something, then even if somebody comes and says, yeah, let's go on and kick somebody, they'll say, no, I don't want to put my name into to get a criminal record for that. At least I can be like John there, or I can be like the other person there. So we can be role models. That's the point why I'm doing this. I want to be a role model for our younger generation, because it will help them to keep away from bad behavior, I think. Okay, I haven't made a serve about it, but I think if we do make a serve and we cut out investigation, it can help for us to be somewhere, and if we are there, for our young children to be able to behave the best we want them to be. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry I've taken too long.
Let me just give you a bit of my own, my understanding of the of the theme discussion. What's the point? Now, there's a quote from Martin Luther King. What's the point? A social movement that only moves people is merely a revolt. A movement that changes both people and institution is a revolution. Now, if we just, as a party, we just use slogan, no community should be left behind, and we don't see tangible difference in people's lives, women, men, young, old, then what's the point? What's the point of us coming together today and you standing for positions? And that's where it ends. What's the point? What's the point of being part of this community? And you see yourself as ethnic minority, you put yourself in the box. You don't get involved. You don't be part of it. Then what's the point? So what's the point of complaining and whinging when you are not part of the change you want to see? What's the point? You've lived here for 20, 30 years, you can't speak a single word of English. How do you become part of the environment? I'm an African, I only mix in African community. I don't know what's wrong, what is happening next door. And I'm British. And I carry a passport. And I enjoy the services, the facilities, all the, all the privileges that come with it. What's the point? And I'm upset about what is happening around me. And the next thing I want to do, because I feel so socially excluded, the next thing I want to do is to then say, "Oh, I'm upset with these people, therefore I want to blow something up." What's the point of being part of that establishment? We need to be part of the change you want to see. Yes, it is true. There's a African saying that you can have a bird, running around your head, flying, a bird of prey. Maybe there's nothing you can do about it because it's there flying, isn't it? You're dodging it. But to allow it to build a nest in your ear, then you have a problem. So, I can excuse those who have been here 2, 3 years, those of us who have been here decades. There's no more excuse. No more excuse. This is your home. This is my home. But hang on. It's not just a vague expression shrouded in deceit. Action speaks louder. We need to get involved. That's the point. Thank you. You want to say a few words?
Right.
How did you get involved? And
Okay. I don't know how to start. I'll just tell you quickly my journey. So it will help you to understand how you can come forward and get involved. Are you listening, everyone? Yeah. So I moved to Hartlepool in 2010 with my family, my wife and my elder son. I'm a software engineer by profession. So before moving to Hartlepool, I was in London and I was more involved doing just job, which is a routine. I didn't have any family life. I didn't have anything. Just go to job. I used to work in Selfridges as as a floor manager. Just go to your job, come back, all the time hearing your underground train sound and come back. So I moved to Hartlepool, and one day I found a leaflet, a number of leaflets, which has community centers and all this, and a ward surgery by the Labour councillors. And I just started thinking, what should be my hobby? What should I do? I moved into town. I don't know about town. what shall I do? So I called one of the councillor and asked him, is there anything I can get involved? And he said, okay, can you meet me at 2 o'clock in the community center in the corner? I have my ward surgery, so I can meet you. I said, okay. So I walked down there, and he just took my interview and said, yeah, you can get involved here. So you can design the website, you can do this as in your volunteering capacity. I never did volunteer work in my life. I was more about after money. I'm sorry, right? I had no sense of community work, community life, right? So at that place, I start getting built myself. I start learning how to find funding. What is community? There was a company who were giving free trainings. I got involved in training. My first course, which I did, working with communities level 2, and I passed it, so I know what is community. So I had a background in sales, door-to-door sales, knocking doors, selling gas and electricity. So the same, my friend asked me one day, will you help me in my leaflets? I said, I don't mind. And I start knocking doors, campaigning, and everything. So I was with the Labour colleagues, and they said, why don't you join Labour Party? And that was the chance. I just found, yes, Hartlepool has even less than 5% minority. It's white area, and if you're working, you will never find racism, but if you're involved inside the town, then you find it. If you're on a 9-to-5 job, go outside, working in Middlesbrough, working in Stockton, you will find Hartlepool's a very calm and quiet place to live. But if you are inside, then you'll find, no, there are problems. So I joined Labour Party. I started learning campaigns, understanding politics, local things. Then I became a secretary for my ward. Then I started attending Labour group meetings. So as you start learning new things, you get enthusiasm. And what you did, you just start. And the most important thing, we all have some lacking of skills, and I had a great lack not listening. I'm still famous that I don't listen instructions. So while campaigning and working in community, I realized I'm gaining those skills. I'm still lacking them, but I still listen. I start building my listening skills, what people are talking. So before I make my judgment, I listen them, I analyze them. And this is we all gained, am I right? If we all are sitting here, what we learned through our journeys, listening, understanding, like somebody is passing comment, you understand that might be that person is not wrong, but why he's doing this? None of us are wrong. So in my journey, I started taking responsibility because I was eager to learn, eager to involve. And I became a ward chairperson of my ward. I became a local campaign coordinator. Wherever I found people needs help, right? Whether it's a community center. Now I was involved in one community center, and because I became that famous, I'm working for communities, I had offer from Citizens Advice Bureau, Hartlepool, would you like to join our board? And I just jumped there. So because I had learned my fundraising experience, putting bids on, finding the funding for community centers, so I just been there. And that's how in the school I found, the thing is when I always encourage, when your kids are going to school, always read the news, the boards, what they are talking, right? And what they need. So I found that they need a parent governor. I had no experience of parent governor. I'm a good parent, but I don't know. I've just been to principal, shook his hand. I said, can I be? He said, yes, why not? And I've been there. So it's like offering your support and help. Now, when I just got involved in that, I found real issues. I found with communities, isolations. It's not just about our Asian BAME, it's about any community. They have isolation barriers, right? So we are there to help and support them always. In my campaign, while I'm helping and supporting with other councillors and all these things, I found, yes, there are external sources who are really creating problem for our communities. And what's the point? Why did I join Labour Party? At beginning, when I joined Labour Party, because I was good in communication, I was good in door knocking, people just ask me. But now, at this point, I'm standing here, that's the point. I joined the Labour Party. There are two big days in your life, always remember. One, the day when you're born and the day when you find the purpose of your life. So the day you're born, it's not in your hand, it's beyond your control. But we're always seeking what is the purpose of life. We have our family, I got my 2 kids, I got my beautiful wife, right? But there's a purpose of, still I'm seeking my purpose of life. We are not born to eat food, just live, laugh. There must be something. There always. So, what I realized, there are external factors, not us. It's not us. 2 years ago, there are 10 families moved from Syria to Hartlepool. I was a liaison officer. I received them on behalf of Hartlepool Borough Council because I am minority. I have a command, at certain command on Arabic, so because they speak Arabic, so I was there to receive them. Before they were arriving, we had issue because there's a local company called Jamas and they were providing the accommodation. Hartlepool is not used to for immigrants or like any other. So who these people are coming? What's their background? Are they threat? So the people who were talking about this, they're not wrong people. I know them. It's a fear. They are not embraced. They are not used to. So sometimes we have to bear in mind what is happening. Not everybody is wrong. We are the bridge. So when I received them, we started conducting English classes, like just one of us said. No, it's actually you said. The people lived in this country as the life can't speak even English. Yeah? So, quickly finish. Okay. That's the thing. I don't stop. So that's the point. I would like to hand up. That's it. Finish. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm so moved to hear your story, and well, I'm very glad that you're part of our team. And I helped my people all through my life, that please do not hesitate to contact me in the future if you have any issue on this. And I'm disturbed to hear what you have said, and I'm moved by it, but you had the courage to fight for it, and please do not give up. I'm there to help you, and I'll fight for you, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There's someone that is part of this discussion. She's still a young lady, and I believe she must have interest for her to walk into this room. What we are discussing is about what is the point of getting involved in local community activities, even in school, to stand as school governor, and a lot of things, even get involved in politics. We don't know your name. We would like you to just, in a simple way, tell us your name and what do you think about this discussion that is going on now? Do you want to come forward, please? Thank you for accepting this.
Good afternoon, I'm Funke Shangwa. I just graduated from Leicester. But in terms of Tees Valley, I think the important thing is, especially with the BME community, is trying to get the younger ones involved, because as they say, they're the future. Try and allow them to know that they're not alone, I guess, that there is some support for them, because when I was at school, majority of the time I was always, apart from my twin, I was always we were always the only black people in our school majority of the time. Sometimes even in our year, sometimes in our year. So of course you get the odd bit of racism, but thankfully the school that we went to, as soon as we report it, it's settled and handled. But I think in terms of, thankfully for us, we had like our own community, different youth events that we went to, which then allowed us to be introduced to more black people, understand our ethnic minorities, and understand our background, our culture, I guess. But yeah, because there wasn't a lot, but we had to go out to the Tees Valley to actually access those sort of communities or those sort of events, because there wasn't a lot in Tees Valley for us. But yes, I think that's it, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chair, sorry, I just want to challenge you, sorry, my sister, because you are the future. And if you wait until somebody do it for you, nothing will happen. There are young people like yourself who want that change. Why not get a few together and then make use of people like the chair here, and if people say, we need your support, and this is what we want to do, and then see what happens. Never wait for somebody else to do it. Do it, lead on it, but get the support. Mobilize. You guys, your language, you understand your language, just like my own children. Trust me, even when we were young, the language we speak, our parents didn't understand it. You can imagine this generation. So mobilize your age group, your colleagues together, or make use the older people and say, we need your support. How do you support us? This is what we want to do, and then see what happens.
Thank you. And congratulations on your graduation. Yes, thanks very much. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you. I think that, as my colleague said, that we need more women to join us. I'm already encouraging women to come and join us. Some of them, they, committed that they will come, but I think that they are on call, they're working, and they said, "We're sorry you can't make it." If we would have done it on Sunday, they would have come. But there are ladies who are willing to join us, in our community, and we encourage them. So it was the first time that I encouraged them to become the member of the mosque committee. So they involved in the mosque, and we had member of parliament, we had the Eid function in the mosque, we had ladies and the man Javed Sahab is here, and we had first time men and women together in the same hall in the mosque, and the first time they spoke in the mosque alongside with the member of parliament and the other councillor, so it was reported in the parliament by our MPs that we saw that young ladies, they came to the mosque and they spoke in the function in the presence of the men. And I think there is a long journey for us to achieve the things which we need to achieve. But I think if we start and we offer the support for the women, I think that we will find the ladies alongside will be joining you. We have a Barbara here, and she is a very active member of the Labour Party and the Union, and she works on equality and diversity. And we have many support, like we have Sue Jaffrey here from Redcar, Cleveland. We have Bob Cook, our leader of the council. We had Norma Stepheson here earlier. Paul Cotton was here. Myself, I always say that if we come forward, there are many obstacles. I don't disagree that they are not obstacles, but if you fight through, then you can achieve those, And the examples are sitting in front of you. They came all the way through from London, and what they have achieved in their life, we can do the same here, So we need to get involved. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you very much. I think we are already getting there. If I just look at my time now, and I think we are doing well with time. But before we go, we are all clamoring for women. I'm a champion leading agent for women. I've got an organization we are putting together. We call it Save the Woman. So women in the house, just be rest assured, I'm just behind to support. We've got 2 women in this house. They are going to talk before we finish. And also I'm going to call the vice chair, Tees Valley. He has not said anything since we started. He's going to speak. He's going to tell us what is the point. But before then, I have to be loyal and give to the women in the house. If you look around, you could see great women, There is somebody that has this connection. We need to know that person, and let's see what is the point, how that person can get really involved, engaged, and committed to this Labour Party. It's no other person than the local model, motivator, and she has been of great support to us, Shade Shogowawa, the founder and CEO of Culture CIC. What is the point of getting involved in the community? What is the point? What is Culture CIC bringing on the table? Barbara should get ready after Shade Shogowawa.
Good afternoon, everyone. What's the point? Sometimes I wonder what is the point, because for some of us who came here quite a while back now, we've fought every step of the way, when we've always had to or keep having to justify ourselves in every aspect, even though we are professionals at every level. And unfortunately, I wish I could say we're there, we're not. But then what's the point of getting involved? I'm a strong believer in, if you don't do anything, why should others do it for you? You're responsible for yourself. That's reality of life. Because at the end of the day, my mom used to say, at the end of the day, you go home, you go to your bed, you sleep by yourself, or even if you have a husband. The point is, you're an individual, and you have to make a change. And if we want things to change in our community, we have to start to empower the younger ones. A few years ago, a lady said, she's a bit elderly now. She used to be an equality and diversity consultant. And I listened to her talk in Durham, and she said she's been doing this for so long, but she still has to justify herself when she looks for contract. And now why should she have to do that? And she used this analogy, which then, probably about 15 years ago, I thought, what made the difference? We're the current one, she says, and she's not a black woman actually. She said, I'm a minority, I'm a woman, I'm educated. He said, you see, I just shot myself in the foot. And when she said it, I thought, things would change. Things not like that. I'm standing there and I'm saying, it is like that, which is sad for me to say it, because we're talking almost 15 years on. However, I'm also a strong believer in you have to fight for it. We have to make our voice heard. As some of us, I always say move on, get older, we need the younger ones to encourage them to also take on responsibility, because it is also their life and their future. And if we don't get them to start to get involved, things won't change. People might pretend it's changing, and people know how to hide it very well. I gave a talk 2 days ago, and I said, you look at equality and diversity. If you're smart enough, you can push it enough to a point where you don't commit a crime, and you stop. You can manipulate it. How many times have we had all the local authorities, the street, trying to achieve the numbers? It is not rocket science. However, because they know how, organizations know how to push it before it's considered an offense. Now, I'm a strong believer in you take action. You take action, you take responsibility. We equip the young ones as well to start to recognize that they need to get involved in their community. They need to stand and make a point. But also in doing that, they must have integrity. And it's key. If we don't, And we say we just continue to suffer. A few will move on okay, majority will suffer. And then what's the point then? Ashok Kumar once said, he passed away a few years ago, and he was what I would call a mentor. When I was doing when I started Taste of Africa, and of all the people that came, he was the first minority to accept to come and be at the Taste of Africa event during Black History Month. And he looked and he said, where are the mayors? Where are they? And he said to me, you know what? You're going to face a battle. He said, and you're going to suffer a little bit for it. He said, but eventually, things will get better. Perseverance, persistence, never giving up. I'm not saying it's easy. We still struggle with it, but we keep moving on. So slowly by slowly, things are changing. And for me, that's the point of getting involved. Because if we keep on pushing, we keep on making, taking steps towards our goal. It might not be as fast as we want it, but, well, what have we got to lose? If we stand on one spot, we get nothing. But at least if we keep moving, eventually we'll get there. So for me, that's the point of getting involved, even though the struggle sometimes might cause us to want to give up. Because I must confess, I do look at a lot of issues and a lot of meetings and and I think, I really can't be bothered. Just forget it. I've done my bit. Let others do it. And then, you know, once I get over the anger and the you find yourself back in it because you just can't walk away. And I hope that as a party, will be able to encourage the younger ones to take on the mantle, because their experiences are different from ours who came in when we're already older and, you know, we just want to survive, you know, we work, whereas they grew up here. The language, like you said, is different. And therefore, they can probably, from an early age, be involved and make a difference. So that's the point, because we need that change. Thank you.
Can I call on Barbara Campbell, please?
Hello, everybody. As Ola said, I'm Barbara. I'm from Stockton. I actually grew up near Liverpool, but I've lived in the northeast all my life, and we're in one of those enclaves of one of the least diverse parts of the country. And that actually contributes to some of the stories that I've heard today. They've been really inspirational stories of how people have overcome oppression, overcome out-and-out prejudice from some of the stories that we've heard. I'm fortunate enough that I work in the NHS. Every day I go to work, I work with people from the Philippines, from Egypt, from the Caribbean, and we all get on and value each other for our skills and our own individual personalities. But as people have said, in Stockton, it's not always easy for people. People aren't used to their communities changing in the way that they are at the moment. Sometimes it is a case that people need to be educated. Sometimes it's a case that people do sometimes just have to be told that behaviour is not acceptable. We're all human beings. We're all here. We all deserve respect. We all earn our respect. And actually sometimes we just say, actually, do you know what? Your behaviour is unacceptable. And we're going to stand together, all of us from every background, wherever we've come from, whether we've always lived in Stockton, whether we've grown up here, whether we've moved here, we'll stand together because we are the community of Stockton, and we'll see those people off and say, actually, if you don't want to be part of our community and respect us, then actually please leave us alone, move somewhere else and go somewhere else. So thank you very much for everything today. Really have been inspirational stories. And I'm just proud to stand with you, and let's hope that as we move forward, Labour is the party for the many, and we are that many. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We just have our vice chair to give vote of thanks, but before then, I would like to still take the mic back to the high table to check if there's 1 or 2 minutes recap from the leader of the council and from the chair from Croydon. Either of the both of you, if you just got 2 minutes to say something.
I suppose really it's, I mean, what was the question? Why do it? Why make a difference? And I think everything that everybody's said today just proves why you do it and why you should be there. And I don't know. I just hear the stories and I just realise that this is what we collectively should be fighting for, isn't it? Because it's wrong the way that things are at the moment. You know, collectively we have so much more talent, so much more ability, so much more attitude to do things with. And it's hard enough anyway, isn't it? You know, I don't know about you, but I represent a community in South Bank where things are hard. People don't have enough money. People go to food banks. Education is rubbish. You know, we have to queue for appointments at the doctor's surgery. You know, that whole list of things that is really bad enough anyway that we need to put right. Never mind also having to deal with discrimination and inequality. And I just think we need to stand together, all of us, and that means we need to have all those voices heard. So it's been great hearing your voices today. I have to say straight away, I speak on behalf, I don't pretend to speak on behalf of any of you. I mean, you all speak very, very articulately on behalf of yourselves. And, you know, I'm just really pleased to have been here to listen. Thank you very much.
Very much.
Thank you. It's really wonderful being here with you all. And I think it's just amazing how the ideas come about to help to form this. And suddenly, here we go. We have all the different elected officers. And listening to you all today, I know you're all going to do well right here. And you're going to grow in numbers, knowing that we're all here so ready to support you. I'm going to say, as it's Black History Month, this month, and I'm in a corner of the woods where you haven't got a lot of Black people, may I take this opportunity to share a poem with you? Is that okay? Okay, everybody? Yes. I'm looking on the board and I'm looking at what you have there, some of those people of influence, and have done so much to bring about change. And I'm going to choose Maya Angelou. She's on the board at the top? Right. Maya Angelou is one of our great American poets. She's no longer with us. She passed away about 2 or 3 years ago. And she's a poet, a writer, a professor. She's done so many wonderful things. And I want to remember Dr. Maya Angelou today. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you so beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil well pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mine digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as surprise that I dance like I've got diamond at the meeting of my ties? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing the tide, leaving behind the nights of terror, and still like dust I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing in the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. And still like dust I rise. Still like dust I rise. Still like dust I rise.
Thank you very much. Before we round up, from the I table, we've got someone that would like to have a 1-minute recap. But before then, if you don't mind, I've got 2 people on the grassroots seat here that wish to say something. Though one indicated interest, that is from Middlesbrough, a young man. But there's someone here from Redcar. We've had people talking from Hartlepool, Middlesbrough, Stockton South, Stockton North. We haven't heard from Redcar. There's a BAME officer here from Redcar. She's going to talk now. After you're going to say 1 minute or 2 minutes, then Brady from Redcar.
Thank you, Ola. Musa Askari, recent member from last year. This has been really inspirational, and it's been wonderful to hear everyone speak. I mean, very moving what you've spoken, and I wish you the best with your journey. I have a small blog called Spiritual Human. It represents the work of my late father, Syed Hassan Askari, and it's about interfaith dialogue, it's about cross-community relations. He's no longer here. But in 1995, and there were people who predicted, I suppose, some of the problems that we're experiencing now. And I think in particular the BAME community, and it's a term that we may not like exclusively, like a barometer, you know, they will point to things that are happening in society who are suffering from that. So in 1995 he said this, and I'd like to just share that with you if you don't mind. There's a slow but firm rise of religious, ethnocentric, racist ideologies. Eastern Europe, the collapsing Soviet Union, in Asia and Africa. In other words, the human system is empty. And when the center becomes empty, all sorts of racist, fascist ideologies rush in to fill it. The hour is crucial. Humanity has to make a decision. And one of the things he goes on to saying is about a situation to do with a collective sort of make-believe, that certain communities behave like this, certain communities have certain impressions. And the stories that we've heard here today break that make-believe, you know, break that hypnosis. So one steer I would give the BAME community chair is please foster these conversations more, no matter what the structures are, no matter how we organise, and the different posts that have been appointed, which is very important. The central thing I would encourage, is, which I would love to keep hearing, is these conversations, these stories, because they are myth-busting, you know. They wake you up from a hypnosis. But yeah, really good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Brady, please, do you want to come over, please?
Hi, my name's Elaine Brady and I come from the Redcar CLP, where I'm the BAME officer. I'm a teaching assistant. I work part-time and I became involved with the local Labour Party because I was getting so incensed with the state of the country. And I felt really it was up to me to get involved. I'm certainly not a Tory and I feel a real empathy for other people that are struggling. And I know we've got very few people, BAME people, in our CLP, but I want to be there to make people feel welcome if they do come along. Thank you. I'm really, really impressed with you all today.
Thank you very much. Do you want me to call the Vice Chair, Tees Valley, to speak before you now recap everything? Oh, he's going to do vote of thanks along. No.
I just want to say a big thank you for inviting me to be here today. And I just want to conclude my own little message of sharing, which I think I can take some comfort from what the gentleman from Redcar, is it? Middlesbrough, yes. Which actually, in a sense, encapsulates most of what we've discussed today. And I probably see from the quote, which I'm going to read out, which is from Edward Everett Hale, an American clergyman who lived from 1822 to 1909. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Good luck. Thank you.
If you don't mind, can you please say that quote back again, please?
Okay. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. And that's by Edward Everett Hale, an American clergy who lived from 1822 to 1909. And if you want a copy, I can send it to you.
I could see it takes two hands to clap together. And yeah, it's the beginning. Yeah. Clap together. We can see we have very good, resourceful people, personnel, individual among us. The vice chair I'm calling now, if you don't see him, you'll be seeing his work all around already. These are the things we need to do to encourage, to promote the business, to link him up, and to make the policy that will be suitable and, friendly, supportive to everyone. Join me to welcome the Vice Chair, Mr. Tolashe. He is also the BAME officer for Stockton South, Mr. Tolashe Jayoba.
And he's a photographer.
Yeah, photographer.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tolashe Jayoba. I am the BAME CLP officer for Stockton South. And what more can I say? You have said it all. And before giving my vote of thanks, I just quickly want to, I'm so much happy for all of us that are here today. This event was put together by 4 of us, myself, the chair, secretary, and the treasurer. But can you just imagine what really happened today? 4, now, how many executives do we have now? We have about 12. We have 8 more people that have just joined us. And this is very, very encouraging. Very, very encouraging. In fact, I'm so happy, to be honest with you. And I know, it's kind of a very difficult thing in our community, to be honest with you. Like I was saying to somebody, I think I said it to someone this morning as well, that if you don't get involved, how would you know what is happening? Okay, you keep complaining and complaining. Would that give you the results? No. If you are there, even if you don't know anything, just be there. You never can say. Maybe one of the foolish things that you say will be the one that will put everything all right. So if you don't get involved, how will things get better? It can never be better for you and can never be better for the community as well. There was this, I think I was watching a program on the TV, probably Channel 4 or something, some times ago. They were doing the documentary about naturalization in this country. And they were trying to give us the process. What is the cost of naturalization with the Home Office? And I think they were saying something about 600, 650. And if you go to the Home Office website, I think per head is about 1,200 or 1,300 now. Isn't it? It's going up every year or every month. And let me tell you one simple secret about an oppressor. If I should move up to you now and give you a slap, what will happen here? Everybody will what? What happened? Yeah, no. You might not even want to slap me back because you want to wonder, what is happening? What does that mean? And me seeing that kind of, reaction, I'm I think I've done something wrong here. If I give her a slap and nobody say anything, believe me, I will give her another one. Believe me, I will give her another one. What does that mean? I'm oppressing her. But if she gave me, I'll give her a slap and she give it back to me, to be honest with you. I'll think twice, or maybe 2. I would think twice before I give her another one. This is just a simple trick about an oppressor. So they will keep oppressing you if you don't talk. And if you don't talk, if you are not there, how would you talk? How would they listen to you, even if you have the best idea in the whole world? If you are not there, how would you share it? So this is what we are trying to encourage. It's not by fighting on anything. No, 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 no. We all have the skills. Like here, we have accountants, chartered accountant, we have lawyers, we have doctors that are here. And what we are doing today, we are trying to create room for the future of our children, not even for us. Like I said to someone, I think some people have done this in the past. It will have been very, very easy for us now. Maybe racism would have been forgotten for so long. But now, like Councillor said, we are racist. We are racist, to be honest. So, to cut the whole thing short, I would like to, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you, sirs. Thank you, Maz. I really appreciate your coming today. And I hope this will mark the beginning of good things to come in the future in our lives. And I hope very soon we'll still be coming together again. And we'll be more than this next time. I'm very sure this will send a good message out there to the people that yes, BAME, Labour, Tees Valley, we have come to stay. And I believe very soon we'll be having our councillor, and very soon we'll be producing an MP. And you never can say. In this country, they've been saying that it's very hard, it's not possible. A black man cannot be the PM. Asian cannot be the PM, but we have one in London already, mayor. Yeah, so it's working to just let you know that, look, if we do the right thing, things will work better for us. Thank you so much, and God bless. Thank you.
Sorry, we might need to take a picture, and also there's some important information we're supposed to have even announced earlier. Today, Nigeria is on Tees side. They are celebrating their Independence Day in Middlesbrough. They call it Night Court, and also on the 6th, on the 13th, which is next week Saturday, there's a Taste of Africa. So if you're available in Middlesbrough Town Hall, Taste of Africa. On the 25th, Black Youth Award in Middlesbrough. And also, October 24, here, one of the Tees Valley event, because we normally engage our community. So the next topic we are going to talk about is employment and discrimination in the working place. That is October 24th, here, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. November 13th, the topic for November is understanding and exploring mental health issues within the Black Asian minority ethnic community. That will be in Newport Community Hub, November 13th. However, just keep in touch. Follow us on Facebook, on our pages and our YouTube. You'll get more information of our events that we'll be doing.